Welcome to the Amiibo Pantheon Tournament Qualifiers. I said it was going to be the next thing I did regarding these Amiibo, and here we are. It's finally time to begin the tests to see which of these 40 Amiibo are worthy and which ones are not. There's quite a lot we need to do today in order to get started on that. I feel like we need to explain the groups and how things are going to be organized before we can even get started, however. This year, I've decided to split all of my Amiibo up into 4 groups of 10. And they will all be fighting each other in said group to get their chance to qualify. And the way elimination will work is the bottom 2 Amiibo in each group will not be reaching the tournament itself. So ultimately, it doesn't really matter how good or bad an Amiibo does, just as long as they don't end up in the bottom 2. We will be running 3 stock matches on 10-minute timers for each Amiibo match, and they will all be judged on their wins, losses, and the stocks that they take and lose. So there's a lot to keep track of. And now it's time to go over the groups themselves. The first group has quite a lot of powerful names and contenders, and there are also no Gen 3 Amiibo in sight here. The first of the ranks to be introduced is none other than the current defending champion, Big Boss, the Bowser Amiibo, who will be set to defend his title in these qualifiers. But with the likes of Mr. T, the Riddler, TJ Creed, and DK West around, as well as the unpredictable wildcard Fortuna, defending that title is not going to be so easy. The main pull of Group B is none other than Darkseid the Ganondorf Amiibo, who is looking for a bit of redemption after losing to Mr. T in last year's tournament. The Incineroar Amiibo Bonesaw, as well as last year's finalist Maximilian the Bowser Jr. Amiibo, are also very strong faces here. This group is also home to 3 Generation 3 Amiibo in Mama Luigi, Colonel Noodles, and Mira. So it'll be interesting to see how they stack up against some of the veterans. Hermes is also one to keep an eye on, as he won the friendly earlier in the year. So if he can go all the way, he could perform an unprecedented double this year. Group C contains the ever-present OG himself, King K. Ratos, as well as the first champion, MS Hammer. With Stevel being the only other force that is strong in this group, it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the competition adapts, because there are a few names in here that are not known for their performance. But who knows, they could surprise us. And finally, Group D contains Taskmaster the Link, who will be looking to capitalize on his recent good performances, as well as Kenshiro the Ryu Amiibo, who not only went far in last year's tournament, but was the finalist in the friendly earlier this year. There are also 3 Gen 3 Amiibo in here, with Megamind the Mewtwo, Dante the Mii Sword Fighter, and Fyra and Icy the Ice Climbers, who are maybe looking to capitalize on the weaker sort of competition here. But it goes without saying, anything can happen here. One more thing I would like to say is that if you are a watcher of my videos and that you're not subscribed to the channel, I would recommend that you do. It helps out more than you think, and maybe we can make a late push for 1,000 subs before the year is over. There's not a lot of time, but who knows? We could make it there. Anyway, let's get started with the first set of qualifiers, starting with those in Group A.
Round 1.
In theory, this is going to be an interesting setup. Big Boss should be vulnerable because of that 60% deficit and his taunting habit. But Osborn is not really the most threatening Amiibo, so not really too much for him to worry about. Plus, he doesn't have an inherent type disadvantage, so Osborn's game plan is in a bit of a shambles right now. And Osborn copping that first stock loss. That speed not really working to his advantage right now. It's pretty much the only advantage he has on this Bowser, really, because I've made my point clear before that Osborn is a little bit of an idiot. Not really the smartest. But he does know how to jab power dunk, and who knows? That could be enough. Ooh, manages to counter the forward smash with the power dunk. This is a surprising lead that Osborn's taking right now. He's got that go. You can't be too careful with that. If he knows how to use it, he might be able to take the lead here. But he doesn't know how to use it, so he can't. Alright, it's advantage Big Boss right now. Unless Osborn can pull it out in these late stages, Big Boss will have the opening advantage on the board. Really, at this point, all he can hope to do is disrupt Big Boss's stocks record. Because I don't think he's gonna win. And just like that, Big Boss is on the board. And Osborn cops the first L.
This match will get red hot. Now
this one ought to be interesting because Mr. T is a very good performer, but Braveheart has had a makeover as of the Dante video. So it might not be as easy for him to get past him here. He still has those good parries though. But right now he's a bit on the back foot. Might want to do something about that. Oh. Catches him with the up smash. Gets him with another one. And he's looking for that follow-up. He's throwing several options out at once. Alright, alright. Mr. T shaking off a bit of that rust. He doesn't have a type advantage, does Braveheart, but it's not really mattering right now. I'm pretty sure this would be over by now if this was old Braveheart, but this is the new Braveheart. He's here to prove a point this time. Alright, alright. He cops the down smash. But he's on pretty high percent though, so he needs to make as much of a lead as possible here. Oh, wow. Okay. This new and improved Roy might be a sleeper hit, honestly. And just like that, Mr. T is on the board. But Braveheart made him work for it. This one ought to be interesting in theory, because the Riddler is a fairly competent amiibo that just got unlucky when facing MS Hammer last time. But TJ Creed is a bit of an enigma, especially since he got a little bit of extra training and a bit of a revamp. He has 3 floaty jumps this time, so it might not be so easy for the Riddler to gain an edge anymore. Even though he did get the first stock right there. No, that wasn't a good idea, Ridley. But what's going on right now is definitely a good idea.
Gotcha!
Oh! What an upset. The Riddler with a clean 3 stock. That was surprisingly quick. This one's a bit of a throwback. If anyone who remembers the very original tournament might remember that DK West and Akira faced off against each other in that one, in their very first rounds. And in that one, DK West proved to be the superior fighter. But with a bit of retraining on both ends, maybe we could see something different. Based on that, probably not. But Akira did manage to make West waste his giant form. So that might prove to be advantageous in the long run. I do derogatively call Akira a bit of an idiot. And I might be able to prove it with displays like that. But who knows? Maybe he might surprise us in a few ways. At 166, he's got to have at least something to kill a Donkey Kong. DK West is just refusing to die. But at least Akira got one on the board. But it took a distressingly long time for him to do so. And West is looking to close things out very quickly here. Well, he tried to get a footstool, but I guess he just ended up footstooling himself and giving DK West his win. This one is going to be fairly interesting because Fortune has the type advantage over Ice Bride, but I would say that Peach here is actually the more technically skilled. I mean, anyone who has watched her performance throughout the year would definitely be able to attest to that. So she might end up causing an upset here. Fortune's had a little bit of restyling, being all defense instead of being more average. It might play into things. With kabooms like that, they definitely will. But I wouldn't exactly rule Peach out of this matchup. Yikes. Hero making good use of those down Bs. And they're boosted, so they're going to be insanely powerful. Well, she got one on the board. Alright, how's Fortune gonna close this out? The same way he took the first stock. With a brutal, brutal kaboom. And that concludes the matches for Group A. We begin Group B's matches with a fairly dead rubber. Except not really, because these two will be super aggressive. Mandolin did finish dead last in last year's tournament, so they may be hoping to get a bit of a redemption here. Hurricane is certainly looking for redemption after losing to Hermes the way he did. Oh, there goes that invincibility. Gotta make the most of it, Banjo. I must say, very reluctant to use that Wonder Wing. Hurricane is kind of running away with this one. Oh, there he goes. I guess he was just saving the Wonder Wing for just the right moment. Oh, wow. They were ready to meet each other and everything. Fairly even. I'm pretty sure Cloud is going to edge this out, but who knows? Maybe Mandolin could cause a bit of an upset. Oh, Hurricane almost botched himself there. Oh, wow. I thought Hurricane was going to edge it out, but Mandolin proved to be a little too much. What an upset. This is going to be another interesting matchup, because these two have faced each other before in the Squad Strike video. And Min Min ultimately proved to be a bit too much for this Ganondorf, but they only really had one stock to feel each other out, so with a full-on match, maybe things could be different. Darkseid already looking to get some early revenge. The thing is, this Min Min will go off stage quite a lot, so this Ganon isn't exactly safe. But never count out a Ganondorf, because this one in particular can do some weird things. Although so far, it's looking like Colonel Noodles is running away with this one. Alright, alright. He's not going away completely empty-handed. Alright, Ganondorf looking to restore a little bit of parity into this tie. Oh, that's surely dead. Colonel Noodles takes victory over Darkseid once again. The first Gen 3 amiibo takes the field. We have Mama Luigi up against Frozone here. And Frozone wasting no time to get some damage on the board. Was he trying to rape Luigi with his own scythe? That's disrespectful. Then again, I did label Frozone the most disrespectful Mii brawler. So, make of that what you will. Luigi not proving to be intimidated by Frozone right now, as we can see with that play. Ultimately didn't seem all that perturbed about losing a stock either. You know Luigi's looking for that misfire. Or a dare. I mean, that works too. Alright, completely even going into the last few stocks. Frozone looking to close this out. You can't help but feel that Luigi's gonna do something wild to win out of nowhere. Just showing no fear against Frozone. Although he probably should have, as he eventually edges out. Like I said earlier in the video, Hermes is the one to keep an eye on, in my opinion. Because he did win the Pantheon Friendly earlier in the year. So he could do the double, if he gets all the way. And I'd say he has a non-zero chance of making it that far. Especially since he got a little bit of a revamp to help his chances. So who knows, that could be the deciding factor. Maximilian is a little bit of a tough first test for him though, I will say that much. That insta-drop is going to make things a little bit difficult for him. And the fact that Maximilian is just generally a good amiibo. I mean, he was a finalist. And would have been a finalist if not for some cheese in the friendly. So he has pedigree. Hermes not cowed in any way, though. What is he up to down there? Hermes has a lot of work to do to get back into this one. I mean, I don't think he's going to win this match, but it's just a matter of how much he can get on the board before he goes down. Which is not a lot, it turns out. This is a battle between two enthusiastic, scary amiibo to close out the matches for Group B. And Mira is technically the baby of the bunch, so we'll be seeing how she adapts to one of the most experienced amiibo. And one who has learned a lot of style before she was ever brought along as an amiibo. Although Mira not looking to be too intimidated by Bonesaw, really. With Alolan whips like that, she probably should be. Nice parry. I'm surprised that back throw killed. Did he just jump into the blast zone? Nice. Wow. That was surprisingly clean. Was that a 0 to death?
Yes.
Surely Bonesaw can't go out like that, right? Nice dodge, and brings it down to last stock. Really needs to get rid of those buffs, though. Because she's doing a lot of damage to him. Oh, just couldn't get rid of the buffs. Mira proves that she can fight with the experience herself.
Each battle, a chance to grow.
And with that, the batch of qualifiers for Group B are at a close. At least for this round. We start Group C with a bit of an interesting match. We have Team Vermilion up against the Inkling amiibo, Strawberry. And sure, you might think that Vermilion will stomp, but don't count this Inkling out. The Ink is the equalizer in this match, and just about all of her matches, really. Oof, she wanted to capitalize on that Flare Blitz. Okay. Strawberry takes first blood. She's probably not going to last too much longer, but it's good to have an early advantage. She has cojones to just run up to Charizard in the wind-up to the F-Smash. Alright. Strawberry's actually doing quite good here. In a good position to potentially cause a bit of an upset. Oh. Not if she takes a Flare Blitz right to the face, though. One strong hit, and I think she might just take it. There's no way she throws this when Vermilion's at 155, right? Well, she was in a bit of a vulnerable position, but she did just enough to clinch that upset. The theme of this one is very monochrome, but we have King K. Ratos up against Gen 3 Amiibo, the Blob. A rejuvenated, retrained K. Rool up against the newcomer Kirby. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Thing is, K. Ratos is up B. Means that he won't instantly die to Kirby's down airs. So the Blob's game plan is pretty much in ruin right now. Or at least one would think. K. Ratos has got to do something here. He's letting this Kirby run all over him. Well, he answers back with a blunderbuss to the face, but I'm not entirely sure that'll be enough. And just like that, the Blob takes King K. Ratos out. Not really that surprising, really. Now, this match might seem like a dead rubber on the surface, but who knows? Maybe they might surprise us. Two underwhelmings have to do something, right? Man, Van Helsing wasted no time there. He did get a little bit of retooling. Good spike, by the way. So, who knows? Maybe it might do something for him. He's being a lot more clinical than I would usually associate with him, although Samus just did him massively dirty right there. And she really just did it again. That was so disrespectful. Hands up who saw that coming, because I honestly didn't. This is gonna be funny to watch. MS Hammer beginning his attempt to make up for his loss in the last tournament, and for losing the friendly title to Sonic. He's basically just taking his frustrations out on this bad Daisy. I think it's basically going to be a case of not if Daisy will win, but how much will DDD win by? Gets that early advantage on the board. Daisy's still yet to get a kill, and probably won't at the rate she's going. Especially with how aggressive... Oh! Okay. Everybody gets one. It's like, that's about as much quarter as MS Hammer is going to give her, really. She's basically just fighting for pride at this point. Man, he manages to beat out the down smash because the sound clip came out. But he claims his victory anyway, so, you know, nothing really shocking there. We really did save the quote-unquote best for last. It's the first Stevel match up against the Piranha Plant Amiibo Ivy. She's got to do a lot to keep ahead of that auto heal. I mean, I'll give her credit, she's not shying away, but I don't really think she's the best Amiibo to take this Steve on with. The thing is, Ivy's a little bit of an idiot, so I'm not entirely sure she can really close this out. Especially not against a Steve. Like, that's just not happening. Come on, just take one stock. I'll be proud of you if you can manage that, Ivy. There we go. Good job, Ivy. I mean, you're still gonna lose this match, but you at least got one. I mean, she's a piranha plant up against a toxic Steve. There was only ever so much she could really do. Into Group D's fixtures we go. And it's not exactly the best start we've got, being Hoxton and Pauling. But who knows? We could see a fair upset. Although by who, I'm not entirely sure. Pauling is probably better in terms of skill, but Hoxton just has Arsene. And that might just prove to be the deciding factor. Very much proving to be the deciding factor right now. Hoxton very nearly taking another stock. But eventually it becomes even, if only for a moment. She did manage to get rid of Arsene. He was on the way to getting another one. So I guess it wasn't completely pointless. Okay, Hoxton, okay. It's a little early for him to be celebrating, though, with or without Arsene. Well, she's disrupted Hoxton's stock ratio, and I guess that's all she really needed.
Done and done.
They fought as teacher and student. Now it's time to see what they can really do. The thing is, Megamind is a very intense glass cannon. So this could prove to be a very quick match. And it's a little hard to say who has the edge as a result. Mewtwo does have that insane attack. But it comes with very, very low defense. So although he has the lead right now, it might not last that long. Dante, meanwhile, is much more balanced. And he has knowledge on quite a lot of the fighters in the qualifiers, seeing as how he was trained by most of them. Oh, that nearly killed him. Making good use of those stat buffs. And then Megamind uses his favorite kill throw. One strong hit and he comes back into this quite handily, does Dante. But it's looking less and less likely as time goes on. Can he at least take one more stock? No. The answer's no. I'm not sure what to make of this one, to be honest. Because I only really know the Ice Climber's mentality. Not so much Robbie. So, this could prove to be an interesting turnout. Especially if Robbie parries both Ice Climbers. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I remember that Robbie is a daredevil, so he's gonna go out deep for those kills. Meanwhile, the Ice Climbers, they just footstool. That's the one thing I remember. Man, even has time to taunt as well. That's how you know you're dealing with a Chad amiibo. That they just willingly taunt because they know that they're gonna win. Although in a situation like this, you don't really know if they're gonna win or not. He's certainly got a good advantage right now. He is being very clinical right now. Which is not something you usually say of a villager. Nah, just too far to recover, I'm afraid. Not as a solo, I see. Robbie doesn't really seem to care about the numbers disadvantage either. He's just going to town on them. Oh my goodness, he may well throw this match. To these parrying midgets. Okay. That was certainly something, wasn't it? This'll be good. I have no doubt about that. We have Taskmaster in action against King Cobra the Snake. One who is a bit of an idiot, but it makes for good entertainment, you know? Especially when we've got someone like Link in the field, who can snipe rockets with arrows, apparently. The Riddler is so far the only amiibo that has done a free stock. But if I could count on any amiibo to do that again, it would surely be Taskmaster. Then again, idiot or not, this snake is pretty powerful. Oh, I didn't even see the C4 over there. Alright, he's a bit sprier than he looks. Taskmaster still proving to be pretty dominating, though. How is Taskmaster going to close this match out? That's my only question. Oh, down tilt up B. Oh, not quite winning it. But you can always trust King Cobra to just do stupid things like that. These two always seem to keep running into each other as of late. They've ran into each other at last year's tournament, then in the friendly, and now here. And Charlie already making a name for himself by taking that first kill. This is the last match, and it's not the last match I would have wanted as last billing. But, you know, whatever works. Especially with Kenshiro being as good as he is right now. He's in his heyday, so who knows? This could be a good watch. Okay, Kenshiro's brought it back to even stocks. Very nearly cops an F smash for it. Well, he does cop an F smash for it, but still. Charlie the Duck Hunt is in control of this tie, but you never quite know with Kenshiro. Then again, you can never quite know with this Duck Hunt either, given how insane he is. Oh! Just like that, Charlie takes Kenshiro out and gets revenge for last time. And that's the last of this batch of qualifiers. Why don't we take a look and see how things are before we end the video, huh? So, here is how everything stands after the first batch of qualifiers. In Group A, the Riddler leads the pack, having free stock TJ Creed, with Big Boss, DK West and Fortune close on his trail, Mr. T providing the last win of Group A. In Group B, Colonel Noodles and Maximilian lead the pack after their 3-1 victories, but Mando and Lin, Frozone and Mira very much hot on their trails. Darkseid and Hermes taking surprise defeats, and they sit bottom of Group B as it stands. In Group C, currently 4 characters lead the pack, with the Blob, Dreadlock, MS Hammer and Steeville all having 3-1 victories under their belts, with Strawberry just underneath them with a 3-2 stock difference. And in Group D, Megamind and Taskmaster both lead the way after their 3-1 victories. Hoxton, Robbie and Charlie close behind them after their 3-2 victories. Overall, it doesn't spell good news for some of these amiibo, but this is only round 1 of qualifiers. There are 8 more to go, and anything could still happen yet. But I'm going to be leaving it here for today, so throw us a like if you've enjoyed, subscribe for more, and I'll see you for the next batch of qualifiers. Take care now.